When I say we're going to talk about immigration, your mind might go here. And there's no doubt what happens along the border is important. But the truth is immigration impacts many parts of America.
If you're somebody who is fleeing persecution, you have the right to seek asylum in the United States.
This week, we'll show you how. From the small town taking in refugees for the first time.
They get nervous and they feel like maybe I should not be a U.S. citizen.
To universities making sure those coming to America have a fresh start. This is The Race. If you have ever filled out any kind of legal document before, maybe to rent an apartment, you know they can be confusing, but they pale in comparison to what some immigration documents look like. The ones I'm about to show you here in just a moment. I looked through them and I can tell you they are way more confusing than I thought they could be. But that's why we came to Utah, to talk to a company that is working to make the process easier, especially for people who are coming from countries in the middle of conflict. Immigration is a topic I've covered often in my career.
It's a much more significant challenge.
I don't know if I'll ever understand it the way people like college student Katya Krivchenko do.
Being here so far away from home, sometimes you feel a little bit helpless.
As someone who has come to this country from a place in the middle of war.
Anytime I have to deal with documents and visas and everything, I get a little anxious because it all feels like super official and serious, and you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Her native Ukraine is now on the list of countries where people can apply for Temporary Protected Status, or TPS. It lets people from places where it would be unsafe to go home extend their visa by 18 months. It may sound straightforward.
It'll take you a little time to do, but yeah.
But former BYU law professor Kimball Parker assured me it is not.
The TPS application is the most complicated government form I've ever seen.
I want you to put yourself in the shoes of someone applying for TPS. You might not speak perfect English. You might not be able to afford a lawyer. I printed out the documents I would need to apply. One is for TPS, the other is work authorization.
It's a lot of paper. I think that's it.
Including the instructions, it was around 70 pages.
This is the instruction for application for temporary protected status. It is 18 pages.
Many questions use terms I had never heard.
Have you ever been or do you intend to be involved in any other commercial vice? What does that even mean?
I would have difficulty running through it as a lawyer native speaker.
The government only offers forms online in English. It's why Kimball's software company, 650, enlisted the help of Katya and another person from Ukraine to translate it.
For example, the form asks for a middle name, but Ukrainians don't have middle names. We have something that's called a patronymic, so your father's name.
They created this free online tool Ukrainians can use to simplify the process.
And then this will run you through every question you need to fill out this form, one by one, kind of in a TurboTax-like way.
It walks people through questions in Ukrainian using more conversational wording, then fills out the document in English and emails a final version in a downloadable file. He says hundreds have already used it.
I mean, is this replacing an attorney, the need for an attorney?
So we recommend that people also use an attorney. You know, we know that that's not always possible.
As a country, we say things like, we're acting with urgency to help the people from Ukraine, which is, I think, the intent. But then what we generate, what we give to them to say, here's how we're helping you, is weeks of homework, months maybe.
Ransom Widener is working to expand the tool to help people from other TPS-designated countries like Afghanistan and Haiti.
I think our main motivation is to help people during what is probably the worst, some of the hardest times in their life.
Because beneath every immigration policy and pile of paperwork are people like Katya. She plans to one day return home.
For now, my plan is to graduate, maybe get a little bit experience working in the field, and then go back to Ukraine and help rebuild it after everything is over.
President Biden has promised vast changes to U.S. immigration policy, including improvements to the citizenship process. Now the Department of Homeland Security is stepping in order to fix a serious backlog. It's launching new time goals for employees who process applications. They hope it will help reduce the backlog. The agency will improve capacity, technology, and staffing to achieve the goals by the end of fiscal year 2023. Dan Grossman has more on how we got here.
I don't remember the last time that I was in a place with so much happy people around you.
Most of us will never know what it's like to be where Julia Michieli is right now. It's been less than 24 hours since she's been able to call herself a U.S. citizen.
I was so excited. I remember when I read the notification on the USCIS website, and I screamed and I cried. Yes.
And her smile speaks for itself. Ever since she was young, Julia had dreamt of this moment because of her dad, an Italian man. He wanted to immigrate to the U.S. after it helped rid his home country of German rule during World War II, but he never got the chance. So Julia, being here and making it through the lengthening citizenship process, is an achievement unto itself.
I couldn't realize how time passed so fast.
I have some friends who actually are waiting for close to 10 years to get it done, and they're afraid to leave the country.
Maya Coakley gained her citizenship in 2018 after immigrating from Israel, and her friends are not alone. For years, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services has had a growing backlog of pending citizenship cases. In fiscal year 2021, it had more than 8 million, according to government data, a 31% increase from fiscal year 2020 and a 40% increase from 2019's 5.7 million cases.
We have some cases that wait for 2 years, and they still cannot give them an interview date yet.
Margaret Choi is an immigration attorney, and her personal experience speaks to the lengthening time it's taking to process documents. According to USCIS, the median time it's taken to process N-400s, the naturalization application alone, has increased from just under 8 months in 2017 to nearly a year today. Other documents, like the I-730, which allows a refugee to petition for a relative to join them, has ballooned from 8 months to more than 2 years in the same amount of time. Choi points to the pandemic and a snowball effect, which have slowed how quickly background checks and interviews can happen.
There are some suspicious on the part of the applicants too. It's like, I feel like the government is the one that tried to stop me from becoming a U.S. citizen. And so they get nervous, and they feel like maybe I should not be a U.S. citizen.
Politically, the backlog affects the electorate, who can vote and how they vote. But personally,
He passed away.
it affects more. Julia's dad died in October, 2 months before she obtained her citizenship, his dream.
It's part of life. It's a circle of life. But I know he knows, and he's happy.
There's no clear path as to how to fix this issue. In recent quarters, the USCIS has processed more cases than before, but the backlog remains as eager families wait and hope to one day end up where Julia is right now. I'm Dan Grossman.
People in a small town say they have successfully figured out how to resettle refugees, how the town ended up with a waiting list of people who wanted to help. This is The Race.